Okay, hello everyone, I'm Christie. Let me start with a story. Ana Orantes was a woman from Granada, Spain, who endured 40 years of domestic violence. Despite reaching out to the police multiple times, she was unable to escape from the domestic violence due to a lack of protections in Spain at that time. In 1996, she finally obtained a divorce, but Spanish law still required her to live with her ex-husband in the same house. On December 4, 1997, she appeared on a television program where she bravely recounted the years of abuse she had suffered. 13 days later, her ex-husband burned her alive. Her brutal murder shocked the nation and led to significant legal reforms in Spain, including laws to protect women from gender-based violence. You might ask, why did Anna's repeated pleas to the police go unanswered? Why did the law require Anna to continue living with her ex-husband even after the divorce? Why was society so tolerant of domestic violence before this case? Do victims like Anna still face systematic barriers in today's society? And how can we further push for legal and social progress to better protect victims? These are the questions feminism asks us to confront and explore. If I asked you to define feminism, I'd likely hear a range of responses. Some confident, some hesitant, some silent. That's why we need to talk about it. Because despite its visibility in public discourse, we still misunderstand what feminism truly means and what it could mean for us. Today, let me talk about a specific topic about feminism. Why should we encounter feminism during adolescence? We often imagine that adolescence is a time of freedom, a blank page before real life begins. However, long before that, we are already being molded by gender expectations. Initially, male and female behavior stem from physical distinctions, like childbearing or physical strength. However, over time, these became cultural roles, men as providers, women as caregivers. Society began treating these as natural. When most caregivers are women, people assume all women are empathetic. When leaders are mostly men, people think leadership is a male trait. This thinking overlooks the structural force that shape our behavior, but instead glorifies or blames biology. These assumptions become social norms, enforced through families, education, and peer pressure. Children quickly learn how to act like a boy and act like a girl, and breaking these rules often face punishment. These rules are internalized. Boys learn to suppress their emotions, and girls learn to be modest. But these aren't fixed traits. They are taught, repeated, and reinforced. That's why I founded the Gender Studies Club Equality Edge. Over 3 years, we led workshops for kids across China, from kindergarten in Foshan to rural schools in the Northeast. Because I believe, if gender is being taught, then young people deserve the tools to question it. Feminist theory doesn't give you freedom directly. What it gives you is a lens, a way to understand how gender is constructed, how power works, how you've been shaped without realizing it. Feminism helps you ask better questions, and for adolescents who are just starting to feel these pressures, that's everything. Each generation tells girls what to be. a dutiful daughter, a good wife, a selfless mother. Even as society progresses, these expectations persist, just in new packaging. A century ago, Chinese girls are told to stop foot binding, go to school, only for raising better sons. Today, we are told to succeed, but not too much. Be independent, but not intimidating. Be modern, but marry on time. Feminism helped me see the cage, and once I saw it, I began to ask, what kind of life do I actually want? Not the one written for me, but the one I can imagine, define, and build. That's why I collaborated with my team to create short films about real girls rewriting their stories. Girls who challenged social rules, rejected the good girl label, and chose to be seen. People ask, do you hate men now? Actually, feminism helped me understand them better. I saw how men are teased for crying, told to be strong but never had to be gentle. I saw the pressure they carry but can't name. Feminism isn't about reversing power. It's about dismantling the system that hurts us all. UNESCO and UNICEF report that boys fear bullying for not being men enough and are taught to suppress emotions. These expectations harm us too. Some say feminism is too radical or divisive. I disagree. Feminism is about making space for everyone to be fully human. Feminism gives us permission to be gentle and assertive, be nurturing and ambitious, to choose motherhood or not, to be loved or alone, and be okay with that. According to the OECD, people in gender-equal societies report higher happiness overall. If gender discrimination is removed from social institutions, global dissatisfaction could drop from 14% to 5%. Feminism isn't about making women superior. It's about removing gender as a limitation for anyone. I want to end with Min Su, the woman who inspired the resolution to leave. She was a factory worker, a woman, a grandmother. At 50, she learned to drive, bought a second-hand car, and left. Not for glamour, not for fame, but for room, for air, for life. Her journey wasn't just physical, it was spiritual. Thousands watched her story. Some saw their mothers, some saw themselves. Some men and women began to ask, what would freedom look like for me? What's keeping me here? Feminism doesn't hand you a map, but it shows you a door. To every young person, you don't have to wait to be older, braver, or broken to begin. You don't have to apologize for wanting more. You don't have to shrink into rules that doesn't fit. Because when we encounter feminism, we don't just learn about oppressions. We also learn about how we've all trained to live small. And we begin to ask, what if I could walk out too? Let's teach feminism not to divide us, but to free us. For Min Su, for a mother, for a sister, for herself, and for a future where no one has to ask permission to be whole. Thank you.